Now, I want to show you another just really super inspiring story here from one of our teammates here at Crosspoint. And I've been inspired by this because this is somebody who's fighting for others, who's showing up in others' lives, in fact, showing up mentoring students in our community. And as I have just heard this story, I've just been like, man, I don't know that there's a better picture of what it means, not just to say, okay, I need to find my people, but sometimes when we say, hey, I want to show up for others, we actually realize that we are their people. So I want you to take a look here at Matt's story.
I am an international wide supplier, which really means that, I get an opportunity to work, and I work all over the world, and I do a lot of work that's out of my house. And so I always really wanted to become more impactful in the community, and I've done various things here, in Crosspoint as well, doing Fight Club or doing various men's groups or some of the sports activities, and then wanted to sort of venture out of here. And I believe that I really found YMI through here. I can't remember the people that actually had told me at the very beginning, because I've been doing it now for 5 or 6 years, but wanted to get involved. I've always wanted to do mentoring. I've always had sort of this hierarchy of mentoring and what that sort of looks like. And so I wanted to get in and be able to help, other students. It was definitely very nerve-wracking. You don't know what you're getting into, and, if you're going to meld and mesh with this, teenage kid sometimes, or junior high kid, and, kind of what that looks like. But, I kind of took it a shot anyway and really wanted to put myself out there. And so I did. I took a quick survey online through YMI, to really be able to match and pair us with someone. And so I ended up meeting someone at HSE High School. He was a freshman at the time. His name is Jaden. He's a great kid. And we got to go in and meet. And of course, upon our meeting, I'm a middle-aged dad bod white guy, and I'm going in to meet a black, teenage high school student. And, for us, especially as adults, it's a little nerve-wracking, and what does that look like, and how are we going to get along? And so I really just kind of wanted to hear a little bit about his story, and then, of course, I opened up a little bit more about my story, I think, first. To really kind of sort of set the tone a little bit of kind of who I was, and so he'd get a little bit of a perception of the man that I was, and then also hopefully knowing that I've kind of opened myself up, that he would to also open himself up as well. And so he did, and it was very interesting. His mother is married to a Latina woman. He has 4 older sisters, and he has an adopted younger brother that the 2 women, his mothers, had actually adopted. And so it was very interesting to me to see really how we got paired. But going into it, my parents were divorced growing up as well, like his. And the only man I ever really felt actually cared about me growing up was my godfather. He was also gay and married to a black man. And so I'd come up with this diversity. I'd come up growing up in St. Louis, where half my friends were black. So I really kind of had a really good understanding at a base kind of where that was. I mean, I don't discriminate against anyone. Like I have always just been raised that way, and I raised my children that way. And so for us, I think we really got a chance to really hit it off. I think he saw a perception of a person that he thought he knew, and then he didn't. So it was really cool for us to be able to connect in that way. And again, I think just those opening 1 or 2 days that we had these really kind of candid, open conversations really kind of stemmed off into a great relationship. He struggles with some mental health issues a little bit, and so we had the opportunity to really kind of dive into that. Our focus with YMI and mentoring and youth mentoring is really to be able to have some objectives and what you want to get done, helping this person really kind of get to where they want to go, and trying to provide a path. And so we not only did that, but then we also discussed a lot about mental health, thoughts that he was having, things he was doing just in life, how he was reacting, how his family life was, how his relationship with his mom and his stepmother were, how his relationship were with his younger brother or sisters, and so had a lot to talk about with those things, because he always felt like he was the only son, and kind of had a lot of pride in that. And so when his mom and his stepmom adopted another boy, he always felt like, why wasn't I good enough? And so that's really where a lot of sort of his mental health things really stem. And I don't want to say that with malice to his little brother. His little brother's amazing and super cute and sweet, and they have a great relationship. I think it was just something internally, as an adolescent he was struggling with. And so we really talked a lot about how to get through these certain situations and really just try to build into him. And he's a great man. I got the chance to see him just a couple weeks ago, and he's doing well. He still lives in Fishers, but what you don't know is that he attempted to commit suicide 6 times before he was 14. And I hope that I had an impact and him not attempting after we had started meeting ever, and still not since. But I think a lot has to do with we take for granted who we are as adults and the impact that we have in our youth's lives. And a simple "you are good enough," a simple "how are you doing today," something like "can I help you with something," and just these little things to show that you care. I think so long, and I hear from his mother. I also hear from my current mentee's mother, both of them, like, God, he was struggling today, and he met you for an hour, and I just can't thank you enough on whatever it is you guys talk about or whatever it is you say. His whole demeanor changes, his attitude changes, his attitude towards me changes. Or as we were always discussing with Jaden, we talked about how we could really make impacts in others' lives. And, because for me, this is extremely fulfilling to be able to do these things and be able to help someone. And so we talked about being a VIP. And so what that was really how you can add value, making sure that you have intentionality with people, and also that you have a purpose. And so we always talked about being a VIP and what that means, and how we can actually walk life in those terms. And so I know that his parents always appreciated it. They loved certainly the time we would talk about being intentional, and that he would come home and serve his mom, and just for the afternoon, and she struggles with her own health things, and helping her with dinner, or, wanting to be able to go to work so that he could help provide for the family, and this, he's 15, and it was awesome to really be able to see a lot of changes in his attitude and his mental capabilities. And like I said, today he's 21, which is so wild to me, but he's 21 and he's doing good. He's got a car, and they live on their own, and they're saving money, he and his girlfriend, and they're doing well in a lot of these things. He didn't end up going into the military, but he's doing the things that he needs to and he's supposed to be doing. So I couldn't be more proud of him.